It will maybe give you diabetes, but you'll enjoy the ride.
All right. Should we do the thumbnail now?
My opinion,
Yes.
as a dude,
Keep that in your mouth and then, wait, what was my tip?
hello internet, it's time for Talk and Taste. I am your co-host, Maximo, expert in cognac, knowledgeable about whiskey and many things Japanese. This is Timothy.
I am Timothy and I am the wine guy.
And we like to talk about our experiences in Japan, sometimes kind of mind-blowing even for us at this point, and then taste something related. Today, we are talking not about simply the blind date, which would be very straightforward. We're talking about something called the Go-Con.
Gokon is an interesting one. It's very Japanese in the sense that, I mean, it is effectively a blind date, right?
Yep.
You know, you're getting a male and a female friend usually. They will each get some friends, bring them along. Needs to be the same amount of males as to females. And you will then go to a restaurant, an izakaya, and you will be sitting opposite a member of the opposite sex. I think the interesting thing about the Gokon is that there's a few formalities that take place, right? I mean, first of all, there's usually the introductions. It's sort of quite formal. Exactly. So you'll talk about yourself, who you are, etc. And then there's often a few games as well, right? A few sort of drinking games and things that are used to, I guess, soften the mood.
I mean, they're fun, right? They're fun as long as you approach them as just having a good time, not as a way of like doing a Mac attack. But if you do come to Japan and you have the opportunity, absolutely, don't approach it as a way of like necessarily taking somebody home or getting a... But it is a fun, kind of unique Japanese way of just getting to know some people. And then, of course, the big thing, the secret lies in getting the number at the end of the night.
Ah, that's true.
And the way they usually do that is everybody gets everybody's number, right? Just to make sure it's egalitarian. Yes.
One thing about the Gokon is generally it's at a pretty cheap restaurant. Because let's face it, you don't want to invest a huge amount if you're not sure what people you're going to be with. So it's usually at a cheap izakaya. But there's going to be some horrendous drinks that are selected on the menu. But you often see, and I think this is probably one of the most popular choices, particularly for females on the Gokon, and it's what we have to taste today. 3, 2, 1. Cassis orange, okay? Now the cassis orange is really interesting because, okay, first of all, it's not particularly alcoholic. It's quite sweet. Yep. It's essentially orange juice and cassis, right?
That's right. So this is basically Gokon's like maybe early 20s, women in their early 20s, who the beer is too bitter, the highball is too strong. What are you gonna do?
Cassis orange. Loving the color. I mean, it's almost like a lovely peach, sort of soft rosé color almost. I mean,
This has got a little effervescence in it as well.
Sweet, very fruity on the nose. I can definitely smell the creme de cassis.
Yeah, it is. It's super sweet.
Apparently our logo looks a lot like a pair of pink Speedos, which we were unaware of.
Entirely by accident.
So we've decided to use the pink Speedos as our rating system. The maximum we give for any particular drink is 5 pink Speedos. Max, I'm going to throw you the Speedos today.
I'm getting these Speedos.
I'm throwing you the Speedos.
I'm totally unprepared for these Speedos.
Yep.
I mean, this certainly has the color of our pink Speedos.
Jump in the change rooms.
And there was that time you got caught peeping in the ladies' locker room?
Okay, move the towel. Move the towel. Oh, they spotted me.
The Speedo rating for today's Cassis Orange, the hit of the Japanese ladies in the Gokon, I'm going to go 2.5 Speedos on this one.
I see.
I'm sorry for anyone who's a Cassis Orange fan out there.
Is the few Speedo rating you're giving, Max, a little bit of a tip of the cap to the fact that perhaps you're going in a revealing outfit to a Gokon?
That would probably work. You would definitely leave an impression.
Speedos at the Gokon? What do you think?
Like pull away pants?
Ah, that's not an idea. Like Adidas snap pants. Remember those back in the day?
Back in the day? What do you mean?
One big, powerful movement.
So you are looking at me and you're saying, Max, don't you usually have something entirely irrelevant and trivial to tell us about what you're drinking
That's
today?
possibly or possibly not a fact?
That's right, it's time for Max Facts! So the Gokon, which we've been talking about today, of course, this is not something that's been going in Japan for 300 years. it's relatively recent. However, less recent than you might think. This actually started in the Meiji era, and it started as university students going out for like group meals together after dinner. In the 70s, somebody had the idea of, hey, let's make this half men, half women. This is sexual liberation time. Maybe we can meet some people here. We don't want to do the traditional Japanese thing of omiai, which is where you have a matchmaker who sets you up with some guy who your parents think is great and you don't think is exactly great. So this was kind of a compromise, right? Trying to meet somebody at the university who might be a potential good partner. That's the origin of the Gokon, and they are still alive, well, and kicking.
I think that's one of your better Max facts. Actually.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's one of your better ones.
That means it's time for Timothy's Top Tips.
T cubed. There's always that clown at a party, at a club somewhere who says, hey, let's do a round of shots. Really do not need a cheap tequila because that's going to ruin me tomorrow. So what you do is you say, I'll take the shot, but I want to have a chaser of water next to it, please. It comes out, everybody's doing the shots. You take the shot, you then follow it up. You still got the shot in your mouth, bang, in with the water. You then, as you're putting the glass down, you spit the shot and the water back into the glass.
It's a subtle backwash.
Get rid of the water, nobody needs to see that. You've still joined in the festivities.
Or better yet, offer it to somebody else.
That's a bit harsh.
That is a great top tip.
Anyway, a quick question for everybody at home.
What is it?
Talking about blind dates and gokons, what's the best or worst, more likely, blind date that you've ever been on? I'm sure there's some horrendous experiences you've got with
What I want to know. So, from my opinion,
Yes.
as a dude, I think I can classify us as dudes. Gentlemanly dudes.
I would even say cool dude.
It's cool dudes. Like, as a man, within fractions of a second, it's really instantaneous.
Yes.
And I think that I can speak for all men and women. I think women are a little bit more sophisticated, fantastic, which is a much better approach, by the way, to choosing a partner. I'd like to hear from our female listeners out there, that's right, both of you, the time you went on that date with a guy who you initially didn't think was that much of a hunky, but then you later married, or you said, this guy's great.
That was a really long run-up.
That was I'm all about the build-up.
Both routes are up to 5:35 now. Automatic qualifying is 5 meters 70. Oh my word, look at that.
I think we're done today, Max.
This has been another episode of Talk and Taste. We learned about Gokon, we drank some sweet, sweet Japanese stuff, and we look forward to hearing from you and seeing you next time to learn even more. Talking and tasting Japan deliciousness.
Is it time for?
Bow, chicka, bow, bow.
Ukulele.
The ukulele. Ukulele, take us out.
Max knows the spirit, Tim knows the wine. Have a drink with us and it'll be a fine time. 'Cause if you miss out, well, that's a waste. So make a little time for Talk and Taste. We're gonna talk and taste.